Hey, I'm Hannah Ellis, and you are watching Celeb Secrets TV. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be a mom. It's something, that I've always wanted, and it just felt like a really good time for my husband and I, just in our musical journey as well as just our personal life. And it's just, it's been really fun. Honestly, I've had a pretty good pregnancy, even though I did post yesterday about all of my pregnancy complaints because I thought it was time to just air my grievances. I would say one of the funny challenges about being pregnant and continuing to work and do music is your lung capacity is less. So you have to take a lot more breaths in your songs than you're normally used to. But honestly, it's so fun to know that I'm on stage doing what I love while he's like with me. That's such a particular time in our journey that has just been really sweet. Boy, mom, I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm like, give me all the gear. Let's go. It's so good to just we've worked on the nursery. We're not done. I have a baby shower this weekend that I'm really excited about that my sisters and my mom are throwing for me. And, but I feel like we're getting there. It feels like we're starting to get in the safe zone of if he shows up, it won't all just, fall apart. Oh yeah. We have his name picked out. We had a friend of mine makes these really beautiful signs. So we've made the sign for his room. We're very prepared. We are due November 14th, which is just crazy. It's almost here. Yes. So, I've been releasing music all year and it's just been really fun to put out a lot of new songs, but I have something really special that's happening this fall. And that is that we're doing actually a re-release of a song I put out 10 years ago. And the reason for this is my cousin was killed in the line of duty 10 years ago this November. And so I wanted to kind of revamp the song Officer Down that I released whenever he passed 10 years ago and kind of give it new life. This has a much more nostalgic feel to it. It also really nods at the bluegrass roots of Kentucky, which is where I'm from, where he was from. And so I think that people are going to really appreciate what we were able to do with the song and kind of the new life we've brought into it. I would say that just coming up on the 10-year anniversary of his passing, it felt like there needed to be something in some way that we could honor him, kind of bring his memory back to life, because yes, time passes and it heals wounds, but it doesn't make it go away. And I think just reminding, ourselves that these people go out there every single day, these police officers, and they put their lives at risk and their families put their lives at risk to protect us and our communities and to keep us safe. And I think it's just a really poignant message for right now as well. It has been incredible. And I think that's really what also prompted the re-release was the amount of people that have reached out in the last 10 years to say, hey, I know this is your story, but it's also mine. And so maybe the details are a little bit different. Maybe it's a slightly different road that we took. But honestly, to have someone be able to relate to such a particular type of heartbreak and pain, it does make it just the tiniest bit less to know that you're not alone. It absolutely was. It was the first song I wrote when I came back to Nashville from his funeral. And even my co-writers were like, would you like to write something that's totally different than that and to get your mind off of it? And I kind of was like, no, I think that I won't be able to write anything else until I write this story. And it was really cathartic and really something that I thought I was doing just for my family. And then my publisher at the time was who pushed me to kind of release it and was like, I think a lot more people are going to relate to this than you realize. So along with, another way to honor this 10-year anniversary is I'm actually hosting the first ever Hannah Ellis Officer Down Golf Classic. I'm a big golfer myself. I played tournaments, kind of all over the country, fun celebrity tournaments that you don't have to be very good at to play in. And I've always thought that we just needed more of them hosted by females. And this was kind of a perfect storm of, I'd always wanted to start a golf tournament. I have this incredible cause and reason for starting one. And then there's an organization called C.O.P.S, which stands for Concerns of Police Survivors. And, I saw firsthand what they do for the families when a police officer passes away, and giving to them, donating to them through this golf tournament was very no-brainer for me. And so it just has really come together in a super natural, super special way. So I golfed when I was in high school for a couple of years, just enough to kind of get the base knowledge of it. And I love to joke that my golf coach used to always say that I was a much better singer than I was a golfer, which, worked out. I didn't go pro, as you can see. So, oh, absolutely. I don't know how you can carry around a child all day and not write a song about it, right? I think that's our whole thing, is that we write our current lives and we write our truth. And I've got some really cool stuff kind of coming up that we're hoping to get in the studio and get recorded before little man here shows up. But yes, yeah. So we have new music coming for sure. This Officer Down song, then one more release this year, which we'll talk about later. And then tons of new music coming at the top of the year. I think one of the most special things is knowing that there's going to be this body of music that he can go to and say, like, this is what my mom and dad did. And like, my husband and I recorded a song together at the beginning of this year, actually. And the concept that he can just go watch us, like watch music videos that we did and hear songs that we wrote together and released together is just, it's like kind of mind blowing, honestly. Navigating like mom life as a country singer, I feel like is, yes, going to be very difficult, but I have a great community of country singing moms around me that like I can go to. I've already had, a coffee date with one of them to be like, how do you breastfeed while you're on the road? So it's just been really amazing to have this community of women that are going, hey, I know it seems like it's going to be really daunting, and there are times when it is, but also, it's the biggest blessing. Oh yeah. And that's the thing, is I think more now than ever, also, people want to watch your real life. They want to see you experience real life. And because of that, I think it's going to be really sweet, because I want him to go with me. I want him to be on the road with me. I want people to get to experience him as well. Yeah. I think like I'm a very goal-oriented person. And so I think my biggest goal is to not slow down and to just implement him into our life. He's being born into our family that we've already created. And obviously there are some things that will have to change. I know that, but I think we want to bring him along on this incredible musical journey that my husband and I have been on. Yeah. I think it's just been really interesting. Like, I always knew I was a really active person, but like when you're not able to be as active as normal, I think it really challenges you mentally to kind of like figure out a good balance of going, okay, what is taking care of myself and staying active, and what part of that is rest and what's necessary, So I think that's been really good and challenging in a positive way for me to try to kind of learn that balance.